Hello, for everyone out there. My name is Alex, and you're here on Local Grit. I am with a marketing expert, Suad Yelich. Sorry, did I say that correctly?
Yeah, Suad Sarajlic.
There we go.
It's
Perfect.
hard to pronounce, I know.
Yeah. And I'm excited to talk to you because you talk about things in your business is what I love to get nerdy about. I love talking about websites and SEO and those things. And something that I found over the years when I worked at Digital Main Street advising other businesses is how wrong many people get it. Just to start off, just tell us what your origin story is and how you got here to where you are today.
Yeah, my name is Suad. I own and run 101 Keys, which is a digital marketing and website design agency. And I started my journey, well, really back in the day when I got my first computer and I started really playing around with Homestead and GeoCities, if any of you kind of recall those site builders. So that was really like my introduction to website and the online world. And I was just fascinated with it. And in high school, I excelled in those sort of classes, the computer science classes, more of the kind of hands-on learning, really kind of coding as well. So I decided to really pursue that as kind of my second post-secondary education for Humber College. I went there for multimedia design, which taught me a lot of other aspects of media, not just websites, but also video and audio, photo, and all these other things really to come about in terms of building a brand, building a business, and really making it stand out online. From there, I really kind of transitioned into more on the job. I was kind of working full time for a company, building out websites, creating their digital presence. And it just felt to a certain point where they weren't like a full on digital marketing company or website builder company. They were more focused on trade shows where the website building was an aspect of it. So I really wanted to grow and really wanted to learn more and really pursue more into the industry. So that's when I really kind of made that decision to let's kind of start on my own, start my own business. So I did that. That's been around 13 years ago now, and I haven't looked back since. So it's just been one thing after the other. And 13 years ago, things were a lot different than they are now. I was heavily focused into Flash websites and building fancy animated Flash websites. Again, if some of you recall those days. But nowadays, those things are dead. It's continuously having to kind of improve your skills, learn new things. And now I guess the challenge ahead is AI and how do we handle that part of it?
Yeah,
So
no,
that's
definitely. I
really
love
where we
I
are
love
now.
that you I loved how you touch on how other aspects can help you with every other everyday things. Like I've often said to people that learning music has made me a better business person, and people look at me like kind of it's crazy, but there's timing. You've got to know certain strategies. You've got to know what your way around music. And I find business is very similar. You have to know how to do marketing scales, so to speak. And so I kind of look at things in that aspect. And it's surprising how many people don't bring in that outside influence of things like their photography, like their design that could really help their business.
Yeah, it's so connected nowadays, like especially with social media. Video is a huge part of it. And I recently actually started doing my own social media because that's one aspect of it that I've just been ignoring. And okay, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. But nowadays, it's definitely a must, a requirement that you put yourself out there, and not only like from a static image perspective, but also from a visual in front of the camera. This is who I am, and this is what I do.
Yeah, a lot of people do like to hide. I remember advising one client, and the picture of her was her in the corner of her desk with her back to the camera. And I was like, why are you showing that? She's like, I'm shy. And I'm like, do you think this is better or worse than a picture of your face that you'll hate? But then she's like,
Yeah.
yeah, good point. So it is, you do have to get out there, especially today. So your site emphasizes more of the custom websites as opposed to generic templates. Why is that the game changer for Hamilton businesses in competitive industries? And can you share a quick example of how it's helped local client turn traffic into revenue?
Yeah. So what I mean by custom websites over some sort of generic templates is so there's a lot of themes. Like I guess if you work like our primary builder tool is using WordPress.
Mm.
That's majority of the business is what they use. It's kind of a really quick setup and get to go kind of thing. So from a budgeting perspective, it also lowers the cost. But we have also built obviously custom applications and custom websites, which obviously add to the budgeting. But if you are going to go with the website builder like WordPress, which is, I guess, a little bit more advanced than something like Squarespace or Wix, and those are, I've seen some clients that I have transferred them over from Squarespace or Wix over to WordPress. And the reason for that is just because that website is just so, what's the right word for it? Like boring, I guess, or like templated. It just looks so generic. Like there's no flow to it. There's no user experience to it. It has the information there, but people don't care that it's there because they're not attracted to it. So nowadays, like everybody's attention span is so short. So if you don't capture them on that first 1 to 2 seconds, and that's really kind of your above the fold, as we call it. So the first thing that shows up when the page loads before you scroll down, that part has to capture them. And that is really the most important part designed kind of visually on your website. You want to capture them. So that's where the kind of custom design comes into play, where we really look at your business and we see, okay, what is the message? Like what are you trying to do? Like what do you want people to go? Do you want people to buy a product? Do you want people to fill out a form? Do you want them to give you a call, or do you want them to sign up for your newsletter, or whatever the case is? What is the goal of that website, and like how do we funnel the potential clients or visitors to your website to that page? So it has to go like from a home page. Then where do they go after that? They go to your service pages, maybe the about us page. So all that has to have a nice flow to it, where we really direct the user to where they want to go, make sure that they find the information, that everything is really clear, readable, that it's not just jumbled up and kind of put together just so it is there. So that's what I kind of mean by like really we put a little bit more custom design into our work just from a user experience perspective to make sure that the website actually works and that it's not just a website just being there just for the fun of it.
Yeah, a lot of people think that a website is just a digital business card, if you will, but it's should be far more than that. And it's true. You need to lead your customers or client to the solutions that they're looking for. That's where your expertise and web designers' expertise come in. And I think some people just think it's, oh, I'm making you a pretty picture website, but it goes far more detailed than that. And with services like SEO and Google Ads, social media, we have all these different strategies and different parts of the overall footprint of someone's digital identity of their business, so to speak. How would you handle someone who's like in Stony Creek as opposed to the same industry who's in downtown Hamilton? What are some strategies that you would do maybe a bit differently?
So like usually we do target like a kind of a bigger area. So like Stony Creek and Hamilton might be in the same market in a way, right?
It's true.
But definitely like talking to that actual market, right? So if you are, let's just say Stony Creek and Hamilton are 100 kilometers apart, right? You would say attention Stony Creek, Hamilton, or Stony Creek business owners, or Stony Creek plumbers, or Stony Creek electricians, whatever that sort of business that you're trying to go after, you kind of mention them in that ad, right? You are paying for these ads. You have the ability to add multiple headlines, multiple titles, and even multiple images on Facebook and Instagram. So definitely talk to that sort of demographic, that geolocation, right? Because they will click on it. Because if I'm a Stony Creek plumber, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's me right there, right? Not only from a kind of a user perspective, but also from a algorithm perspective. Facebook sees that, Facebook reads it, and they know that you're trying to target Stony Creek plumbers. So that's where they're going to be kind of focusing their attention on. So that would be my strategy from an ads perspective. From an SEO perspective, I would create local landing pages, right? City-based landing pages. So it would be a Stony Creek plumbers page that what I would talk about plumbers in Stony Creek and just add more content to it, right? And then I will create another one for Hamilton. Now, those two pages should definitely be unique, and I would not advise people copy and pasting those pages and just changing Stony Creek to Hamilton and Hamilton to Burlington and so forth. Make that page unique, right? So what do I mean by that is change up the content, right? And you can definitely use AI nowadays to say, rewrite this in a different way. Again, speaking of AI, if you do that, make sure you do read over it, rewrite it in your own little way, right? Try to throw in some case studies, examples, projects that you might have done in Stony Creek or Hamilton, and also external linking, right? That's an easy way to kind of really differentiate content. Link to community centers, businesses, other things in Stony Creek, and same thing with Hamilton, other things in Hamilton, Burlington, or whatever the cities you might be targeting on.
Yeah, I was gonna you beat me to it when you were saying make sure each independent page, because you can get deranked when you have the same thing on every page, and it's something
Yeah,
that I
that's that
a
that
lot.
look at content, and Google is smart enough to recognize that.
Yeah, yeah, totally. So I know that mobile is relevant. Would you say that that's still true today? Should be people be making their websites more mobile friendly, even regardless of industry? Is that still having a fast mobile loading site? Is that still pretty much the way you want to make your website now?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like 95%, I should say, because that's kind of really roughly the number of mobile traffic that is coming through onto websites.
Yeah.
It's increased dramatically over the years. And I did some. I read an article actually recently that's saying that even in the last 2 years, they've seen a lot more people make purchases, not just but like large purchases, things that are over like one, 2,000, three to $4,000 on their mobile device, right? Before it was just, those $20 to $50 here. Let me go to this website and buy $10. I don't care kind of thing. But now they're actually making a larger purchases, right? Which is a kind of a little bit of a shift there. And yeah, since I started 13 years ago, I think it was close to like, not that much. I would say like 40% of traffic was mobile, but now it's hitting that 95% mark. So yeah, it has to be like we do things mobile first, and even our designs, some of them have actually a different design and layout for mobile versus desktop. We
Mhm.
do tend to hide certain things on mobile because they don't need to be there, like a large image that looks beautiful on a hero section on a desktop version of the website, not going to translate that well onto the mobile, right? So we do make adjustments, and some websites are really like not night and day difference, but kind of really different in a way from what you see on the desktop versus mobile.
Yeah. And what would you say to someone, because I used to hear this all the time too from many business owners, of someone who's like, I don't need a website. I'm just going to learn. I'm going to earn all of my dollars on social, and I'm going to put all my effort into that. What advice would you give that?
I guess it's good if it's working now, but what about like 2 years from now or 1 year from now when Facebook changes their algorithms or something happens on Facebook or other platforms that they take away, or God forbid they suspend your account? All of a sudden you're stuck and you're really like not like you're losing business day by day until you really start building your own brand and building your own space online. Because when you are on Facebook or Instagram and you're just posting there, you're giving all that content to them, right? So you're just sharing on Facebook, you're giving them the images, you're giving them all the FAQs, the how to guides, the videos, everything is going there. Meanwhile, you're not keeping any of that yourself in a way, right? So your website is your own identity online. It's like your locker, right? So it's you just go there and you put your stuff on there. You put what you do. People will find it. People will read about it. It is like your business, like your digital footprint online. So people need to know what you do, and like who you are, what you do, and how to contact you as well, right? And again, it is the data that you want, right? So you want to know who's coming to your website, what are they doing on your website? Is your website working? Like, can it work better? Do we need to improve the user experience? And even if they don't take an action, maybe just sign up for a newsletter. At least you're getting those leads, and you can always talk to them, right? If you have their email, you can always send them an email. Doesn't necessarily have to be every single month. It can be once a quarter, 2 times a year. But you do have that ability to do that, right? So you have that freedom. So that would be really like more control over your business and over your clients and over the data that you're collecting.
Yeah, I've always said with email marketing and a blog, which connects to your website, you have much more control over your audience because you rent an audience from social, but you have your audience, you own it when it's email and a blog. And
Yeah.
people think blogging is like so, 19. It's still relevant, and and it still helps with SEO. It still helps with so much that a lot of people undervalue how much your website is. And there are many times where I've seen something on social and I'll go to their website and their website is terrible and it's not allowing me to have a good experience. So you have to have that balance of a
Yeah.
good website and a strong social.
Yeah, for sure. And also like the information that you're putting out there, right? On socials, you're definitely limited to what you can do because they have their layout and their structure and what you can do. You can upload an image, it's going to go to this spot, right? Where on the website, you can say, well, I want this image to be huge or right on the first page. I want my
Yeah.
menu to be right there. Because actually, speaking of that, I had the experience of, I think it was last week. I was looking for a restaurant. I clicked on the website from their my Google business profile, and it took me to their Facebook page. All I wanted to see was their menu, and I got lost. Guess
Yeah.
what? I didn't go to that restaurant.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No.
it's
And I've
it's
hit to go
something simple like that.
to go further with the horror story, I've helped restaurants before and they've gone to their Facebook page and then the owner had one of their employees set up the Facebook page and they didn't end on good terms. And guess who took the
Mhm.
Facebook page with them? And they
Yeah,
lost a
there you go.
lot of revenue. Yeah.
There you go. Right.
Yeah,
So yeah,
exactly.
it's that can happen as well, right? Where uh, you lose that email, you forgot that password, and then yeah, it can be quite a quite a long road to recovery for that.
Yeah, it is terrible for sure. So that leads perfectly into my next question, which is that algorithms can change overnight. Competitors are just a click away. It's more so than ever. So what's the toughest grit building lesson that you've learned to keep digital agencies like 101 Keys ahead of Hamilton's evolving scene?
You just gotta show up. You just gotta be there with SEO, with social. Like it's not a let me set it up today. Let's work on it for 3 months and I'll be good to go kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Or if I'm working on it, I'm number one spot today. I'm just gonna ignore it because 3 months from now I'm probably gonna be fifth or sixth spot, and 3 months from that I'll be on the second page. So it is an ongoing effort. You just gotta show up. You gotta blog. You gotta go on the social aspects of it. And nowadays, engagement is more valuable than ever before. And what I mean by that is like just people talking about you. Like you can talk about yourself all you want, right? Blogging, Facebook, Instagram. I'm gonna do it in reel. I'm gonna do a story. So that's great. You should be doing that. But when other people are actually commenting on your stuff, giving you reviews on Google Business Profile or Yelp or other kind of platforms out there, they're sharing your content, right? That gives you more value. Like that is what it's really all about nowadays. 2025, 2026 coming up. Engagement marketing is really where things are going.
Mm,
So make your content show up, but make it engaging and make sure try to make it that people are going to comment on it or might share it with somebody, right? So give that value to them. Yeah, and that's kind of really my advice to stay ahead of the
yeah.
competition.
Yeah, I mean, and then leading into SEO, which is important. Some people I've heard make the argument that SEO is no longer important, that AI, and that we're all just popped into this AI kind of system of whenever we search, and that so SEO is not important. How would you handle that situation if you were asked that from a client?
So I've been asked this question quite a few times in the last year, right? So the way I always kind of like, I'm trying to really find the best answer for it, but really like it is, as long as you're doing SEO, it is going to be an optimized way, like it's going to be an optimized website. So I don't know if I want to call it a search engine optimized website because it is search engine optimized, but it's also AI optimized,
Yep.
right? There are a little bit of different things that you might want to do with AI, such as answering questions more, right? But that's also relevant to SEO, right? Finding the questions that people are asking, answering those in an FAQ section, or even writing a blog about it and putting it at the bottom of the blog. Linking, right? Other citation, like there's citations and there's backlinks. So citations are more of your profiles that you can claim and link to your website. Backlinks are just one link that links to back to your website. So those
Mm,
are important. And coming back to what I was saying just before was the engagement marketing aspect. So AI uses, and you can actually do this. That's what I did. I'm like, who is the best website designer in Hamilton? And then it listed a whole bunch of companies. And unfortunately, my company was not there yet. So I asked, why my company, like, why is 101 Keys not on this list? And it says, well, 101 Keys is a reputable company. This is that, blah, blah, blah. However, it did not have too many reviews on Clutch, UpCity, and this and this. So it was telling me I need more reviews on Clutch and UpCity because that's where it was grabbing the information from and ranking the other competitors. So
interesting.
it's pretty much you can reverse engineer your search on AI and just say, why am I not on there? Like list your business name and it's going to tell you. And it's going to tell you why your competitors are showing ahead of you and what you can do about it.
That's yeah, that's a great way to look at things. And does it tell you? Did it give you detailed? I mean, you can always go further, but did it give detailed of like how you were ranked, say for Microsoft, Safari? I couldn't think of the Apple one. Will it tell you those details as well of how to get better on those search on those platforms?
So I did it just based on, I didn't go to that deep into it, but I did, like I just kind of, again, did it on ChatGPT, but there's also other AI models. I did it on Google, Gemini as well, and same sort of thing. So Google worked a little bit different actually, where it was actually saying, okay, well, the more people that recommend, that ask about why is 101 Keys not on the list, they're actually going to take that into consideration for the next people.
Right.
So if you keep kind of doing the prompts and you keep saying, why is 101 Keys, add 101 Keys, it could possibly like kind of be indexed, right?
Yeah.
So that's the thing with AI nowadays. It's a lot of guessing games and it's like what is working, what is not. But just coming back to my original point, as long as you're kind of doing the basics, the fundamentals of SEO and you keep going at that, you will show up. And I have a great example. Actually, I worked with a client, lawyers in Scarborough, and their main focus keyword was sale of a pharmacy or dental practice, right? So buying or purchasing a dental practice or buy or purchasing of a pharmacy. So there we're ranking pretty much top spot on organically for search engines. And a few months ago, I was looking at some of their stats and I noticed more and more stuff coming from ChatGPT. What is this? And then
Mm,
I went into it and I got that exact prompt: who is the best lawyer in Toronto if I was going to sell my dental practice? And they were number one. And I didn't do anything specific for AI or ChatGPT. I was really just working on their SEO, and that really helped and boost them to the number one spot.
oh, that's awesome. Yeah, no, that's super helpful. So with AI using it that way, are there other ways that you use AI with your business? Can you think of other examples?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of really use it on a daily basis, to be honest. It's just really, I use it more as a tool nowadays than anything else. If I need to do some research on a certain topic, for instance, right, it's a great tool for that. Creating outlines so the way we kind of work with SEO is we really target keywords in a different manner in a way, right? We look at some of what's already ranking for that particular keyword. We
Mhm.
grab those sort of things, right? We kind of analyze that content inside of the AI, and then we have a whole set of prompts that we actually utilize to generate this content for blogs or service pages. Then we kind of put those up on for clients to review. Once they review it and approve it, that's when we kind of take over and really post it online, right? So that whole process is something that we use it quite frequently for. This is really kind of helping us generate guidelines or sort of like outlines, I should say, for this content that we produce for clients on a monthly basis. All along that, like really basic, like the researching some competitors, researching, why certain things might work and why certain things might not work. Yeah, I use it as a daily tool for sure.
Nice. And testing is still a huge part of it. So that's even now that we have it, that's
Yeah.
interesting. So you've got a resource called the Future of Websites for Small Businesses. What trends do you see coming for Hamilton or the surrounding area? You can go as far as Toronto if you want, for Hamilton entrepreneurs, and how can they future proof their online websites without breaking the bank?
I would just, again, generate more content that you believe your audience or your demographic will resonate towards or will kind of, be engaged with. And give them the tips and techniques that share your knowledge, really. Like, people want to learn things, people want to know things. Some people might want to even do it themselves or originally, and then they'll realize that they can't, and then they'll hire you, right? So if you're a contractor, for instance, building fences, like tell them how to build a fence. Just
Yeah.
do it. Give them a calculator, give them a cost estimator, whatever the kind of thing that they're looking for. Give it to them, and then when they do try it themselves, like, oh man, this is too hard. I'm just gonna hire. I'm just gonna call that guy back, right? That's really like my strategy is just like be like continuously like you gotta do these things. You gotta blog, like I would suggest once a week. If you can't do it once a week, do 2 times a month. If you can't do 2 times a month, do once a month, sort of thing, right? Obviously the more you do the better. Social media, big part of it. Again, coming back to the engagement side of things. So don't just post things, make sure that you're posting that are they're the content that's going to be people are going to receive and want to share and want to like, and actually some helpful content, right, that they might want to again take in and learn something from.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's not, again, this is why I bring it back to music. It's just like practicing. I recommend to everyone, you have to practice every day. That doesn't mean that you
Yeah,
have to sit down and do the same thing every day. Your practice could be like you have trouble with certain fingerings, then you just practice that certain fingerings. And it's the same with SEO. You can take small little things and say, hey, I want to push this part of my business a little bit stronger than this part of my business because this is doing fine, and just focus on those little things. It's yeah, it's great advice for sure.
yeah. And just reviews, really, kind of, if I'm gonna do one more thing, it would be
Yeah.
reviews. Try
Okay.
to get those reviews. Create your Google business profile. It's free. And your Google business profile is your social profile on Google, right?
Yeah.
So you have your Facebook, you have your Instagram, and when you search Facebook or Instagram, your profile shows up. Same thing with Google. When you search, that's what shows up. And when you are getting these reviews, try to ask your clients to actually throw in the keyword that you're trying to go after, because Google does index those reviews and it does actually prompt them higher up when people are searching for a plumber or a website designer in Hamilton. I try to always tell them, can you add website designer in Hamilton inside of the review? Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But if they do, it's great. And if they don't, I still got a 5-star review out of it.
Yeah, like I've always said to my clients, "Hey, can you post this review on Google? I've pre-written it for you. This is something that I thought reflected what you've told me before. But hey, you can say whatever you want.
Yeah,
You don't have to do that." And I think that helps to take the think out from the client, because one of the big problems that I've noticed, and you've probably noticed, is that they're like, "Yeah, I would love to do a review," but it's just like that is
yeah,
overwhelming because they don't know how to say it. So if you can say it for them, then it's a win-win in many situations.
for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, that's the extra step for sure that will make it easier for them.
And that's another way to future-proof. Always be that extra step ahead of your your competitors, right?
Yeah. Yeah, reviews are huge, right? So like that's where AI is going, and that's what they're looking at. Not only AI and search engines, but also your actual client. They will go and they will research and they will look at the reviews, because that's what I do. I mean, I don't know if you do, but when
Yeah.
I look at restaurants, I go and I'm like, okay, let me see the reviews. Let me see if this new place is actually good or not, right? So if I do it, I'm sure others do it as well.
Yeah, and I know that a lot of people, and I'm totally guilty of this, when you see the top 3 that Google has set out there, which one do you normally choose? The one with the most reviews or the one
Yeah.
with the bigger rating. And so it is very important to systematize your review process, especially for Google. How strong do you think the other review sites are? You think that businesses should be running out and trying to get on every type of on Edge and on Safari, and or do you think that Google is like that's the safest one for time's sake or for impact?
Well, I would focus on Google first, 100%, right? It is still the most searched one. However, ChatGPT doesn't index Google. So,
Right. Yeah.
and a lot of these other models, Google is blocking them because they have their own AI. So they don't want their data to be available, right? So, that's kind of the answer. It is still an important part. And if you are going to get one review, get it on Google. But if you don't ignore the other ones, it's not really the best future-proof plan.
So definitely add other sites into your mix for
100%.
sure. Yeah, that's great. That's great advice. So beyond building sites, how has 101 Keys given back to Hamilton community, maybe through mentoring local startups or collaborating citywide initiatives? And what's one way you'd like to see the local business ecosystem grow?
So actually just recent, well, Saturday was the home opener or season opener for the Stony Creek Tigers,
Oh,
and we are
nice.
a sponsor there. So we sponsored the team there. Well, I know their backup goalie Daniel, so he was he kind of mentioned it to me. He's like, if I was interested, I'm like, you know what, I'll support the cause, I'll support the community. And it was a great event. We went out with the kids and the wife, so it was a nice community event to be part of, right? So that's something that I'm kind of looking to do more of. Really is like, getting out there to the sponsors, trying to help out the local businesses. I was part of another panel that happened. So I do rent an office at CoMotion on King, which is
Yep.
just on King and John. So they have these monthly events. It's kind of a co-work day, so you can come in. It's the third Wednesday of every month, I believe. So anybody can just come in, actually just work there. It's a great space. Like there's a lot of different businesses in there that you can network, collaborate with, right? So I was on a panel just last week, I believe, and yeah, so that was fun. And I always like looking for networking events, really trying to kind of, get out there to the community and a bit more.
Yeah, I think it's super helpful to join those things, and we also sponsored our local hockey team as well. I think that's a great way to be a part of the community. Well, I want to thank you for joining me. That has been very educational, very helpful. It's amazing how much things have changed and how much things stay the same, but it's important to stay on top of this stuff. And any last words of advice for a local Hamilton business?
Just keep grinding, keep showing up, right? Day by day, it does get, see, like one thing actually I'll mention is like, I was, same thing I did mention my social media that was kind of ignoring on, but I was also ignoring my local SEO, my SEO for my website for years, because when I first started, it was a lot of referrals and everybody was just, I was doing great work for one client. He referred me to another and it just kind of snowballed out of there. And I was really getting a lot of work from referrals and I didn't really need to focus much more. And then one day I just saw my website and it was ranking on the 90th position. And I was like, ugh, right? I'm a SEO expert that's ranking on the 90th position. And I was like, what am I doing here? So 8 months, that was 8 months ago. So now I'm on the second page. Some keywords, actually, I'm on the top 10 page. But yeah, I've been doing that for the last 8 months. I've just been showing up, doing it. And you know what? It's been paying off.
Yeah, taking
Yeah,
taking
that's
your
from
own
my own
advice.
experience, but for other clients, so like I said, I was doing it for everybody. I was getting them all the jobs. I was getting to the high rankings. But when it came
Yeah,
down to my own stuff, it was like,
and
okay, I
to
don't know what to do.
yeah, well, to your point, I mean, when you do anything that you do today is going to get you a sale probably in closer to 3 to 6 months. So you
Yeah,
might be busy now, as you experienced. You were busy. You might be busy now, but 3 to 6 months, work can dry up. But that's where
yeah,
your SEO and your daily effort puts in the work and gets you that next client. It's about the future and making sure that you are ranking highly and you're doing all the right things.
yeah, for sure. Especially with SEO, it is
It-
a long-term strategy, right? That
yeah,
stuff that I did 8 months ago is paying off today, but it is paying off in a way that I am there and I'm going to be there next week and the following week as long as I stay on top of it. That's the great thing about SEO. It's like once it works, right, for a long time. With the ads, it's great because I would have been at the top 8 months ago, but if
yeah,
I stopped it, I would have been nowhere again, right? So that's the thing with ads. It's definitely you're going to be in front of your audience tomorrow or as soon as you launch the ads. But as soon as you stop them, you're nowhere to be found again.
yeah. It turns off the faucet. It literally does turn off the faucet. And one piece of advice for ads that I give to everyone is don't make them land on your homepage. Always take them to a specific page. So that's a great place to end. Thank you so much for your time and wisdom. And
Thank
I'm
you.
going to put all of your information in the show notes so people can find you and work with you. And hopefully we can do this again. This is a great conversation.
Yeah, appreciate it. Appreciate your time today. And thank you.
Thanks.
It's been great. Okay.